All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I don't know. It seems to be working out the way it's supposed to. Like this was supposed to happen. That's why I had all this hardware. It's perfect.
Just got a hold of my thumb.
Today is Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Thursday. I pretty much took Wednesday off, got the video edited for the last one you guys saw, the last one I released. So this is like the next step. Didn't do much on Wednesday. So now, today, gonna go ahead and get the spindles off this guy. Shouldn't take too long, they're kingpins. So nothing real special here. Go ahead and tear into it. So we got A-arms mocked up on the car, and I want to get spindles built and actually mounted to the A-arms, make sure everything cycles properly. So that way I know what I'm doing is good and we can finish welding everything out.
Sounds good.
So spindles off the front end. All right, so right quick, just because I know I've talked about how the steering is going to happen and whatnot with this big old huge funky arm right here. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy out because I won't need either of these arms. This one I'm going to leave just because it's going to be like tucked into the tire. It will be okay. The lower ball, the lower pivot for the spindle will be like in between right here. So like, yay, it'll be like right here. And the arms are going to go up from there. So I don't think this will be too much of an issue. This one, on the other hand, with how the A-arm is going to go out at full compression, I don't want this to hit. So this one, luckily enough, just unbolts, and I'm hoping I can get it out. So we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, guys, I don't want to go too in depth on how I'm going to do this or not, just because I'm pretty sure it's kind of boring, but I do want to explain what I'm doing here. So my intention is I got bungs on each one of these guys right here to attach to all the ears. This is essentially what my spindle is going to look like. So it's going to be a piece that goes on both sides like this. And then what we'll do is once I get all these pieces cut, we'll take this pattern, we'll shorten it a little bit so we can stick it in the plasma cutter, the pattern cutter. We'll make it a 1/2 inch smaller, both directions, height and width. And I'll cut another one out of like 1/8 inch plate. So it'll be 3/16 on the primary and 1/8 inch on the secondary. And that thing will get welded all the way around. Maybe a couple slots in the middle or something like that. So essentially this thing will get taken up like that. And then we'll have our lower down here. And then our upper will be something about like that. And that'll be our spindles. And again, completely bolt on. So it'll be these 4 bolts. And then the bottom right here will have a plate. I don't have a plate. I can kind of... The bottom right here will have a plate going across between these 2 bottom bungs. That'll have the same hole in it right here. So that'll sandwich between there. And I'm going to be using a grade 8 5/8 bolt for the bottom. This guy will go in here, bolt going up, just so happens to be the exact size I need is like 1/2 inch pipe. So I just got to sand the outside to make it go down in the sleeve. And then all you have to do is drill out the weld seam and a 5/8 bolt goes right through it. So it's like it's perfect. So this will all get sandwiched with the plate washers solid to the bottom. We'll have a big sleeve right here that goes through the bushing. Again, it's not going to turn, but it'll go through the bushing and that'll be free. So I'm not going to like compress the cast. That top half will be free to tighten up down below, but it'll be supported at the top, just like that. And that'll be going out the top. And that'll be way up here. So I can actually bolt this whole thing on, and then when I want to take it back to the old car, take it right back off. It's gonna work. All right, guys, we got the table all set up, metal up here, our patterns up here. So let's get into cutting some of this stuff. We'll get 4 of these things cut out real quick. All right, we got our patterns cut. Unfortunately, every time I use this thing inside right here, for some reason, it smokes out my shop. So usually every time I do a bunch of cutting, and like this wasn't even a bunch, I've cut some big stuff before, like where it kicked on and it probably took, I don't know, probably 5 minutes to go around. Anyway, long story short, I usually let the shop air out now, just because I don't want to breathe this stuff in. So I'm gonna open the doors, let it air out for a little bit, and we'll get back with it here in a second. I will say this much, these gloves are no match
For the sanding disc. Just got a hold of my thumb.
Should be wearing different gloves, but these are something. It's better than nothing, right? All right, so this is kind of the idea. We got a little shim put in right here, nice and tight. Got our bolt. Now that thing goes right up through and it's centered there. So what we're gonna do is, we are then gonna take a plate. We're gonna make a plate go between these two bungs, and then on top of that will be the heim. Come on, go through. And then on top of that will be a washer. And then we're gonna make another bung kind of like this. That's gonna sleeve through the top and go all the way down. Oh, come on. So we go all the way down and press on here. So we're actually clamping the heim down here, and the top of the bolt will be centered with this. So we're actually still using the whole spindle, but we're using this as the pivot and the whole structure of everything for the strength. I'm pretty sure we'll be okay with this. I don't think we're gonna break it. All right, so this is where we're at with the spindle. So I got some plates cut. So now all the sleeve works. So the nut will tighten down, tighten up against the heim just on the bottom right here. It'll be plenty supported both ways because it's sleeved here and down here. And then the upper is just 2 plates like this. And that should give me enough. I may have to trim like something like that, or do like a dippy right here just to clear that particular jam nut. And then what we'll do is, when this is all done, we'll plate the whole face of this. You know, maybe put a hole in it or something like that to lighten it up. But again, weight's really not my problem. So we might put a hole in it. We might do like 2 holes. And then also, what do you want? You want me to take a piece of, do it? Oh, that's what you want. See, like every 20 minutes, dude, this dog, I tell you. And like, this is not the piece I had 20 minutes ago. She'll be back, I promise. So that's what we're working with right now as far as how this spindle is going to be built. So like I say, we'll plate the whole face, put like a fat hole right. We'll probably plate the back too, like in between here, down, probably all the way to here. And then I'll put a hole right there too, so that way I can get the nuts inside. Well, hi, welcome back. Come in. Told you. Well, that was kind of weird. The camera just randomly shut off and then went like haywire. But you're back though. So again, back to what we're talking about real quick. This is pretty much where we're at. Like I say, I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit of radiusing. Whoa, wait. A little bit of radiusing like this up here. Something like that so this guy can turn at full droop. Down here, we don't got the problem. All the way up, it turns full both directions. But up here though, like we're stuck. What's the likelihood of me turning more than like 5 degrees at like full droop? If that's happening, like we're crashing or something's breaking. So I'm gonna say like we're probably gonna be okay, but I'm still gonna do a couple little hoopies right here, just so that way this clears. Because again, why not? It's just easy. You know, just cut a couple little thingies and we're done. So anyway, we'll get a little bit farther on this. I'll give you guys an update. Well, this is how the spindle is going to look at full bump. Maybe something of that nature right there. We've got almost 0 from, you know, backing plate, whatever you want to call it, vertical out here to vertical on the frame. So that's perfect. I got to pull this bung out a little bit more. I got to drill these to rosette them, stuff like that. But again, right now I'm trying to get all the geometry and everything figured out before I fully weld anything out, before anything's completely done, because right now I can still change it. So that's what she looks like. I will, I'm gonna mark down here with a piece of tape, or like my marker or something, to get the 14 inches I was looking for. And then we'll run this thing up and down a couple times and show you guys. This is awesome. So much better than I thought. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. So let's get a measurement real quick between backing plates. I kind of did a little bit of rough measuring earlier, and to my knowledge, with how wide the wheels and tires are gonna be and the drums and stuff, this car is gonna sit like 92 inches wide outside to outside. It's big. All right, so let me get back over here. Turn this volume down a little bit. Okay, so right quick, threw the spindles back on the car, threw the stock front tires back on, just to kind of get ideas of how everything's gonna sit and whatnot. But I am gonna stick a piece of like 2x, just a plain old 2x4 from the upper control arm right here, underneath the spring, and back to the pivot back here. And I just wanna see, I'm gonna set the car down with what weight is here, how much this spring moves. Because again, like I say, I gotta get, if the spring is way too soft, I gotta get something like ordered or whatnot, because I only got a couple more weeks. If it's too stiff, then I can always flip that second spring over and just use the primary leaf. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but we're fixing to find out, because we're gonna leverage this thing by almost 2/3. So just stuck them on there for right now. Let's get some couple pieces of wood set up and see how bad she flexes. Get out of here. This is probably gonna work with that spring rate right there. Perfect. This is gonna be nuts. Okay, 2x4 doesn't work. cow, dude. All right, so just real quick, just to see if the spring's even stiff enough, we've got this thing supported across the A-arm right here to the top of the spring, the bottom of the spring. Sitting on tires, off the lift. And to get full weight of the car, because the rear end's gonna move back that little bit, I just set the back bumper on blocks. Because that's essentially where the rear end's gonna end up being. So it's off the lift on both sides, supported, and we are still very, very high. Like very, very high. So honestly, with a little bit more weight, people in the car, obviously radiator and everything else put back in here, I think the spring's gonna be okay. I can't believe that it just happened to be right about the right spring pressure. And another cool thing about this is how I'm gonna link it, kind of like a shackle. I'll be able to adjust those shackles and that'll change ride height. Like, again, like if I changed it 1 inch up here, it'll change the overall ride height by like 2.5, almost 3 inches. So right now it's still sitting up a little higher than I want as static, just sitting here. But again, I still have radiator, water. I'm gonna build some type of front bumper for it. Roll cage, because I have to have something over that. And probably a little bit more weight for the back. I mean, that's all gonna be suspended between the two suspension points. So, but my gosh, it is big. It is big, bigger than I thought. And wide. But it's gonna be awesome. All right, everybody, this is where we're at. I'm gonna call this video done. We did the whole disassembly of the spindles, got the new spindles built and put on the car. Everything cycled, looks like it worked okay. Next video is gonna be all about steering, making the linkage work, making all that stuff happen. And then after that, it's just weld stuff out and some linkage for the suspension. So this one will come out on, hopefully on a Sunday morning. Next one will be on a Wednesday. If you guys like this, please tell me, like comment. I enjoy reading the comments. You know, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Hopefully I can get more stuff out. And if you guys like it, awesome. If you don't, tell me. I'll change. I'll do what you guys want me to do. So, but it's going. Merlin's birthday party. This whole thing happened because, well, I had to be a dummy and do this, but because of Merlin's birthday party. Want to go. Want to take my own stuff. So now that we're here, this is where we're at. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. It'd be awesome if you guys did. I appreciate everything you guys do. All the comments. I love the comments. Comments are great. So keep up on that stuff, please. And tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't. I'll see you guys on Wednesday next week.